So Wyoming is sending a message on climate that honestly I think we can all respect and I think we can even follow. So before you judge me, let me break it down. All right. So headlines have exclaimed that Wyoming is set to ban all electric vehicles by 2035, but that's actually not true. Senator Jim Anderson was on Fox Business this weekend, and we'll link that in the bio if you guys wanted more information. But he was pretty much saying that this was not a mandate, and in fact, it was more of a resolution. And what they were doing is supporting local gas industries in Wyoming, because Wyoming is a very expansive state, right? It's the smallest state in the nation. There's lots of land though. It's like top 10 in size when you're thinking about square miles, but it's the lowest populated. So not a lot of gas stations, not a lot of stuff like that. And yeah, but because here's the problem with this. The news is all about more of the twist than it is the lie. So on the climate side, we have to acknowledge again that electric cars, would they improve towards climate? Of course. Studies have been done. If you mine like the minerals that it creates to power these cars, it helps with the climate substantially more than using gas. So we understand that, but it's not practical for everybody with travel. You could live in the middle of Wyoming. The closest Walmart would be 90 miles away. The closest gas station might be like 50 miles away. You get what I'm saying? It's not practical for all these charging stations in a place as big. It is a big state, but as expansive as Wyoming. So California, on the other hand, on the opposite hand, has mandated that all vehicles must be electric by 2035, which is which is saying it's hard to take that into account. So you're sitting as a Wyoming resident, and these Wyoming people are being judged. Well, you're against climate change. No, it's just not practical. How about California, on the other hand, though? Are they going to mandate that all of Hollywood stop flying private jets? I think that's valid if you're talking about climate. So listen, are electric cars better for the climate? Yes. I mean, it's a little debatable, but yes, they are. We're not disputing that. But on the other hand, is that until you ground all those private jets, it's hard to take you seriously that this is about climate. So yes, mandate what you want, but don't villainize the people of Wyoming, because they got to prioritize their state and their businesses. So if they want to use gas, all of California is the most populated state in the nation, so they should be able to They should be free to do what they want, and I don't think Wyoming is causing too much harm with climate. So I got more on this, but Jake, what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I don't agree with either of these. I think, you know, you should let people decide what kind of car they want to drive, whether that be electric, whether that be gas powered. I don't think that, you know, I don't think that they're really doing this for the climate. I think that they're just doing, I don't even know what they're doing this for, but I just know it's not for the climate.
Yeah, yeah. And I wouldn't go to as far to say as it's theater, because again, if you watch the interview that we're gonna post, the sponsor of this bill is saying, listen, this is not a ban. The news just took it out of proportion. This is not a ban. This is just me saying that, hey, it's a resolution. We're not enforcing anything on anybody, but we got to support our businesses and we got to let Wyoming know that no, we're not going to shut down your companies and your jobs. So there is definitely something to be said about that. No, he's not advocating for coal mines and all stuff like that. But to answer another question, is California's law related? Oh, it's 100% related to why they made this. But I think Wyoming has the better approach. Again, California, if you want electric cars, I have no problem with that. But to lecture everybody else on climate, again, it's like, you know, ground those private jets. That's all we're saying. Because studies have shown that 3 months of car travel is equal to one private jet flight for an hour. So I just think it's something interesting to think about.